I overthink a lot. Overthinking drains my physical and emotional energy. It makes me feel more anxious and helpless. When I see any video or movies related to negative scenarios, I start making those scenarios in my mind. If you are also stuck in the loop of overthinking, let's try to break this loop in today's video.
My name is Anmol. I'm a mental health practitioner, counselor, psychologist, career coach, life coach, and life skills trainer. I'm here to share my insights and learnings with you to tackle life challenges and attain your highest potential. Let's create balance in your life.
Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing great. My name is Anmol and welcome to my channel Ask Life with Anmol. Today we'll be discussing the topic of overthinking. Why people get stuck in the loop of overthinking? And is overthinking really bad, which other people are talking about? Or is it good in some way? We'll discuss about why is it becoming very common to overthink in today's world. Today's world is driven by social media. If you compare the previous generation, our parents' generation, they had very little social media, right? So they were not getting any other kind of information. But today we get information from YouTube, from other videos that we see, right? So we are consuming a lot of content and it is creating the impact of overthinking in our mind. So in today's video, with the help of case studies, we'll try to understand how is it impacting our brain and how is it related to our psychology. And secondly, I will give you a tool to stop overthinking. This tool is psychologically tested. So wait till the end. So let's try to discuss about the first scenario to explain you how overthinking happens. Let's consider a student who is preparing for their entrance examination. It can be any entrance examination, whether it is for engineering, medical, law, right? So they see a motivational video of a person who has become very successful and that person dropped that year for preparing for entrance examination. You are also in the same situation. You saw that video and you made up your mind. This person dropped the year and got successful. I should also do the same. Is this the right way of making decision? Let's consider one more scenario. In this scenario, there is a girl who is in a long distance relationship. Now girl sees a podcast. In that podcast, there is one more girl who is representing her love story. She was also in a long distance relationship. And she tells in that podcast that her partner was cheating on her, right? And that gave a negative experience to you in that particular instance because you relate to that particular person. Now what happens after this? You start overthinking. Is my partner also doing cheating? Is my partner also betraying me? Or will my partner betray me in future? Is long distance right decision for me or not? So now what you see, in both these scenarios, we are relating to that character and making our overthinking happen over that particular video. Do you think is this the right way of making decisions? Let's try to break this with the help of a model. Now let's discuss this psychologically tested model to stop overthinking and help you reduce your stress and anxiety. This model is called triple F theory, FFF theory. Now what does this stand for? First F stands for facts. Now what are facts? Fact is something which is 100% universal. They are the truth. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. It takes two people's effort to make things happen in a relationship. Competitive examinations are very tough. These are factual information. Second F stands for feelings, or you can say emotions. So for example, if you are driven by feelings or emotions, you make decisions based upon the second F. Some examples can be, I want to get into a relationship because I want to feel happy. I am feeling low. I want to eat a pizza to uplift my mood. I don't want to go to gym because it makes my mood very low. I don't like to wake up early morning to go for a walk. It does not make me feel good, right? So second part is the feelings and emotions. Third part is called faith. Now what is faith? Faith is related to your past situation, right? So whenever you are taking decisions in your present based upon your past, that is called faith. For example, you dated a person from a zodiac sign of, let's say, Scorpio, and that was a very toxic relationship for you. Now you have made up your mind to never date a Scorpio zodiac sign person. Another example, you are working in a corporate environment, it's your first job, and that again was very toxic. The supervisor was very toxic. You worked on weekends, worked overtime, right? That was very stressful for you. Now you have made your decisions to never enter the corporate industry. I will prepare for government examination, right? So you are making decisions based upon your faith. So this theory of triple F, fact, feeling and faith, helps you to identify your thoughts, and you break it down your thoughts into these three buckets: fact bucket, faith bucket and feeling bucket. The more decisions or more thinking happening from faith or feeling will cause you more anxiety, will cause you more stress, and you will never be able to grow in your life. Second thing, if you make decisions on factual information, that will give you less anxiety and stress. So what you have to do now, whatever you are overthinking or anything you have in your mind, you sit with it and try to bifurcate it into fact, feeling and faith, right? All of us are imperfect. Initially you might see the faith is high, feeling is high, fact is low, but after some time what you have to do is you have to put a stop button in your brain. Once you identify that this particular thought is related to feeling, click on stop in your brain and stop thinking about it. If it is related to faith, stop on that, right? So that is how this triple F theory you can use in your mind just to stop overthinking. Secondly, if you think it is difficult for you initially, you can write it down. So write down your thoughts and see whether they are falling in the category of fact, feeling or faith. That is how we use this psychologically tested triple F theory to reduce overthinking. Now let me explain you with the help of examples how we apply this particular theory. So let me tell you a story about a person named Rahul. It is his second job of a software engineer, and he left his job because of the toxic work environment. He had to work on weekends, he had to work overtime. In the next job, one fine day, his boss just sent him a PowerPoint presentation at 6 p.m. and asked him to edit it. The office timings were 10 to 6 p.m. So after that message, he started feeling anxious. He started getting panic, right? Why did he send me this? And what he thought that, why did my boss send me this particular message now? Have I made a bad decision by going to this particular company or joining this particular company? Will it be same as my previous company? He starts overthinking a lot. He was not able to sleep the whole night. He did not work on the presentation. He just left the chat. He didn't sleep the whole night. Next morning, he got to know that the deadline for that presentation was 1 week. Actually, his boss was busy, so he could not give the deadline. He just sent the presentation. Here in this case, you start overthinking without taking other scenarios because that has happened to you in the past. So in this case, Rahul was making decisions from the faith perspective, right? And how will you convert that into, in this situation, into a fact thing? The Rahul in that case might have confronted the deadline from the boss instead of overthinking and sleeping over it. Most of the time what people are doing, they're not able to face their fears, right? So what you need to do here in this case, what Rahul might have done, just confronted the boss. What is the deadline? Or just a small message. Or what is the deadline? Or he might have just said that can we do it tomorrow morning? Can we discuss tomorrow morning? Instead of overthinking whether this job is right for me or not, have I made the bad decision or not? And the worst thought that Rahul had, I will quit tomorrow. I will give a resignation letter tomorrow with this small instance. That's what past do to you. That's what faith, when you make a decision from faith, do to you. So that I hope you understood this. Now let's see the second scenario. Now let's consider the second story of Swara. Swara was a happy-go-lucky nature girl. She was in a relationship with a person for the past 6 months. Whenever Swara used to have fight with this person, she always ignored it, right? She changed the topic about it. She thought that fights will bring stress in their relationship, and she always wanted to be happy. What was the reason behind it? That in the past of Swara, she had a very toxic relationship where she had put the needs of the partner first. She was not expressive in that relationship. Now what she is doing currently, she was into the current relationship because her notion was that I want to be happy now. I'll put my needs in the forefront now, irrespective of the fact how the other person is feeling, right? So she used to always change the topic, move away from that conversation. She never confronted the partner. Here Swara is making decisions based upon feelings, right? Because feelings and emotions, like, they are temporary in nature, right? That's a fact. But Swara is considering that she wants to be happy all the time in a relationship. The fact here is that fights are not always bad. Fight helps you to grow in your relationship. Consider fights as a way of communicating with the partner, and communication is the base for any relationship, right? So if Swara could have, changed her mind about the notion of love, the notion of relationship, she could have better dealt with this particular relationship. So these were the two examples I wanted to give you, how feeling and faith can increase your overthinking and might hamper your different areas of life, whether it is your career, relationships, mental health, physical health, anything. Right? So please use this triple F theory and comment down below whether it brought any change in your life. You can also ask any questions or doubts you have regarding this particular video. I hope this video helped you to identify why overthinking happens, what is the psychology behind overthinking, and it helped you to understand your thinking in a better way. I would urge you to use triple F theory in your brain or in a notebook while journaling your thoughts. It will really help you. Share this video with your friends and family members to help them reduce their overthinking. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel Ask Life with Anmol to create balance in your life. Keep growing.